Let's go.
What is up, InsideOut? How are we doing? Well, that is amazing to hear. Well, if it is your first time or we have never met before, my name is Alexis, and I am so excited that all of y'all are here today. In just a second, we are going to play a very fun game. And then following that, I have one very quick announcement. And then at InsideOut, we love to celebrate stories through baptism, so we will be able to check that out. And then after that, Matt and Teresa are going to follow up the last part of our Love, Dates, and Heartbreaks series. So with all of that being said, I have a question. Does anybody know what today is? Wow, I only knew that because of Google, but yes, it is Texas Independence Day. So with that being said, our game today is going to be a Texas Independence Day trivia. So I'm going to need all of y'all to gather around your small groups and have one person grab a whiteboard, a marker, and an eraser. So make sure you're gathering around your small groups. Okay, do y'all want to know what y'all are playing for? Okay, so in Texas, there is nothing better than some good chips and queso. So if your small group has the most points, you will be receiving chips and queso for your entire small group. They're gonna win! Okay, so one more thing. Every time you get a question right, you have to swing your arm up in the air and say, yeehaw! Okay, let's try it. What are you gonna do if you receive a point? Okay, perfect. Okay, can we get the first question up on the screen? When did Texas declare independence from Mexico? Okay, I'm hearing some interesting answers. Okay, I need everybody to show me their whiteboards. Everybody show me your whiteboards. So, our sophomore boys are correct, our senior girls. Not our senior guys. I can't see it. All right, can you show me the answer? Okay, that is perfect. I am keeping track if you are getting them wrong or right, so please do not cheat. If you got it correct, keep a little tally in the top of your corner. All right, can we show that next question up on the screen? What was the capital of the Republic of Texas? I hope everybody gets this correct. Again, I hope everybody gets this correct. Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. I hope everybody gets this correct. Meaning I'm seeing a Perfect. Can we get that next question up on the screen? What day is Texas Independence Day celebrated? Okay, you're gonna have to show your answers right now. Okay, can you show me it up on the screen? Perfect. Just wanted to make sure everybody was paying attention. Okay, that is perfect. Make some noise if you have 3 points. My junior guys do not have 3 points. Okay, can we get that next question up on the screen? What was the slogan for Texas independence? I'm pretty sure it was a flag. I think. Okay, once you have it on your whiteboard, flash me your whiteboard. Okay, perfect. I think everybody got it correct. It was come and take it. Good job. Everybody give yourself a point. Hey, I didn't hear any celebration. Thank you. Okay, can we get that next one up on the screen? How many out of 5 of the original copies of the Texas Declaration of Independence still exist? Say that 10 times fast. Goodness. Okay, everybody show me your answers. Okay, can you show me the answer? It is 1. So, my group back there, I'm so sorry you did not get it correct. Okay, can we get that next question up on the screen? Where was the Texas Declaration of Independence signed? If y'all get this wrong, I'm not going to blame you because I don't know either. If I see you Googling, I might take a point away. Okay, flash me your whiteboards. Did y'all Google that? Okay, can you flash me the answer? So lots of people got that wrong, but that's okay. Cheer really loud if you have 3 points. Okay. Cheer really loud if you have 4 points. Okay, how about 5 points? 6 points. Okay. All right, can we get that next question up on the screen? What years did the Republic of Texas exist? I will give you a hint. It is a 9-year time period. Okay, everybody, show me your... Okay, can you show me the answer? I said 9 years. Oh, there's a typo. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 1845. Okay, that's okay. Everybody can get a point for that wrong. But I didn't hear any celebrations. Okay, perfect. All right, can you flash me the next? Which country governed Texas when the Texas Declaration of Independence was signed? Which country? So please write down a country. your whiteboards. So remember, I said country. Can you flash me the answer, please? It is Mexico. Just a reminder, Texas isn't a country. Not at that time. Okay, can you show me the next? Okay, what is Texas's nickname? Okay, can you show me the answer up on the screen? It is the Lone Star State. I think most of us got that correct. Perfect. Okay, how many questions do we have left? We have one question left. So who thinks they are going to win the chips and queso? Okay. All right, can we get the last question up on the screen? Who was the first president of the Republic of Texas? Can you show me the answer up on the screen? It is Sam Houston. So I saw lots of right answers and lots of wrong answers. So I need everybody to cheer if you have 5 points. Okay. I need everybody to cheer if you have 6 points. Okay. Who has 7 points? How about 8 points? How about 9 points? Okay. Stand up and cheer if you got all 10 correct. Okay, I am going to need somebody from y'all small group to come up. Y'all got all 10 correct? If you got all 10 correct, I need you to send one person up onto the screen. Minus. Okay, again, if you got all 10 points correct, come up on the screen. If you don't want to party, then you should go home. Y'all are from the same small group, different small group? Okay. I need y'all to face back to each other. Yeah. So face back to each other. Perfect. And sorry. Okay. Now the crowd cannot help. You are going to have tiebreaker questions. Okay? So can we get the first bonus question up on the screen? In what year did Texas join the United States as the 28th state? Okay, all of y'all flash me y'all's whiteboards. Flash me your whiteboards. Okay, can you show me the correct answer on the screen? our senior guys are eliminated from the bonus question. So sorry, take a seat. Okay, can you put the next bonus question up on the screen? What major battle occurred during the Texas Revolution? You need the full title of the major battle. Okay, and show me. Okay, can you show me the correct answer? It was the Battle of the Alamo, Lauren. I'm so sorry you had to take a seat. Okay, so that was very good. Now, I think that is the end of our bonus questions. Okay, so now it has come to a rock, paper, scissors showdown. And I'm really sorry. So, y'all two are going to be partners, and y'all two are going to be partners. Okay, and on the count of 3, I need everybody to say rock, paper, scissors. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Amazing, okay. What is your name in your small group?
Braden, freshman boys.
Freshman boys? Okay. Oh, and name and small group.
Poppy, freshman girl.
And the freshman girls. Okay, on the count of 3, I need everybody to say rock, paper, scissors. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There you go. Good job to our freshman boys. Y'all will be delivered chips and queso to your old small group. Thank y'all for playing in the game. And remember earlier I said we will have one small announcement. And our small announcement is that next week we are having a one-off series called For Austin. So my announcement is just to be here. I want to personally invite y'all to show up. This is just going to be talking about what the future looks like, what the future I.O. looks like. So just don't miss it. Be here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we love to celebrate stories. So just take a look at this video.
My name is Alec Hodgson, and I'm a junior at Rouse. I felt like church was kind of more like a thing that I had to get up and go do on Sunday. Like it was something that took time out of my weekend that I valued, especially with sports on the weekdays. So it was kind of just like something that was there, but I wasn't like invested in. I feel like last summer, Camp 75, we were singing Gratitude. And my sister came up to me and hugged me and told me she was proud of me. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna accept Christ. I want to show, especially my sister who really helped me, that I want to fully accept Christ. During that time, it was more something that I just knew he was there, but didn't really know how to like connect personally with him. And it's just kind of someone that I could go to if I felt like I really, really needed it, instead of just someone that I can go to for anything. Before, I felt like he was kind of just there, and now I feel like I can go to him for anything. And it's just like super helpful to know that he's always there and someone I can go to when I need anything. I'd really like to thank my sister and my mom.
All right, Alec. I am so proud to be with you here today to celebrate your baptism with your sister and Kason and all your friends and family. You know, it's I've known you for a long time, growing up with Kason and playing, football and baseball and fishing, and it's so cool to see your faith journey and how that's grown. You getting involved with Camp 75 and InsideOut, and really just finding a faith of your own, which is really, really cool. The people that are your friends and family, you light up, and they know that you've got this faith now. and you're going to make a huge impact on other people's lives just because of the way that you carry yourself and just the kind of man of faith that you're becoming. And so I'm super excited. That being said, I have a question for you. Do you put your full faith and trust in Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins?
I do.
Awesome. That being said, I baptized you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, buried in the likeness of his death, raised to walk in the newness.
That is absolutely amazing. Y'all give it up for Alec one more time. It's a little slippery in the tank, but I love it. That was so great. We love celebrating stories of life change here at Inside Out. And what I love most about Alec's story is he reminded us of two really important truths, that regardless of if you've been in church before, if tonight's your very first time in a church building, I never want you guys to forget that God is with you and that God is for you. That God is with you and God is for you. And Alec's story, his testimony, is a reminder of just that, that as you navigate the ups and downs of life and the ups and downs of high school and what life will throw at you, I never want you to forget that here at Inside Out, you can pursue a faith of your own and come to the conclusion for yourself that God is a good God and that he loves you and he is always with you and he is always for you. You guys are what make Inside Out, Inside Out. You guys create this culture. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for being here tonight to celebrate with Alec, to celebrate with his family. It was an incredible night. We are only halfway done. We are wrapping up our series called Love, Dates, and Heartbreaks. I would love to pray for us. Then Teresa will join me out here. Heavenly Father, God, thank you for today. God, thank you that you are a good God, a faithful God, and a loving God. We are grateful for you, grateful that you see us and you know our lives and you know our stories. And God, I'm grateful for Alec and his life change. I'm grateful that you remind us through his story that you will forever be with us. And when we place our faith in your son, Jesus, there's never a moment in our life where we're separated from your love. God, we trust you with our lives. You are a trustworthy God, and we appreciate everything that you have done for us. God, we love you and we trust you in our lives. It's in Jesus' name, amen. Y'all take a look at this video, and Teresa will join me up here in a second.
Enjoy the show.
Okay, I'm back. Good to see you guys. Hey, it is awesome to be up here with y'all. If I've never met you before, my name is Matt. I'm our Inside Out director here at North Point, and we are just so grateful to be wrapping up this awesome series that we kicked off earlier this month called Love, Dates, and Heartbreaks. And our greatest hope is, regardless of whatever relationship status you have in high school, if you are here and you are single, or you are pursuing a relationship, or if you're in a relationship, or you just got out of a relationship, our greatest hope is that whatever we talk about is actually practical and helpful for your stage of life. And as you guys can see, I'm not the only one up here. Can y'all make some noise for Teresa Avagaro? I gotta say, Teresa's on staff here at North Point. I'll let her kind of explain a little bit of her life and her story through Inside Out. But for me personally, Teresa is one of the best people on the entire planet. She is one of my closest friends in the entire world. She inspires me to follow Jesus on a day-to-day basis by the way that she lives her life and the way that she loves people. And I gotta say, if any of you guys in here have had a great time at Inside Out or My Life a couple of months ago, or Camp 75 that's coming up in a couple months, so get ready for it. It's really excited. She is responsible for so much of it. And so if you've had an amazing time, if your life has been changed as a result of our ministries, I want to let you know that she has done so much for that. And so, love you. Go ahead. Teresa's here.
Well, Inside Out, I am beyond excited to be up here with y'all today. As Matt said, my name is Teresa, and I actually grew up here in our student environment. I went to Inside Out. I started going as an incoming freshman. I think I have a picture of this. This is my best friend, Madison, myself as a young lad, and my small group leader, JC. And what's cool is I'm actually on staff at North Point with the both of them now. They're still such great friends of mine. But Inside Out entirely shaped my faith and my life. And so it's just exciting to be here. And then I'm also excited because we are in the final part of our series, Love, Dates, and Heartbreaks. And today, Matt and I are going to cover a large chunk of what relationships are. Week 1, Parker talked about how to win at relationships. Week 2, Matt talked about the thing that nobody really wants to talk about out loud.
Sex. We talked about it last week.
And today, we're going to talk about 3 different stages, the season of singleness, the season of dating, as well as heartbreak. And to be honest with you guys, not only did I go through all of those phases in high school, but I also went through all 3 of those within the last 6 months. And so wherever you are in the room, whichever season you are in, I just want to say I'm right here with you in whatever season that is, and I get it.
Yeah. Like we said before, we just want this to be helpful. So our greatest hope is going to look a little bit differently. We're just going to give advice based off what we wish we would have known. We both went to Inside Out in our high school days. What we wish we would have known when it came to navigating relationships or navigating the different aspects of relationships, whether that's navigating singleness, navigating heartbreak, or navigating the purpose of dating. Our greatest hope is that you would just walk away with something. We're going to throw a whole lot at you. We're not expecting you to remember most of any of it, but we really just want you to walk away with what you feel like is helpful for your season of life and for your stage of life. And I must say that regardless of whatever your season of life is right now, the truth is that you might actually experience the other things that we're talking about at some point or another. If you're in a relationship, we wouldn't pray for this, we wouldn't hope for this at all, but there might be a world where you're single again. And we want to make sure, like we said up front and like we've been saying every single week, we just want you to win when it comes to relationships in high school. And so I'm going to give a boy's perspective, because I am a boy, and she's going to give a girl's perspective on what it looks like to navigate these things in high school. And our greatest hope is that you would just walk away with something. So you want to get kicked off with purpose of dating.
Yeah, dating in our culture is really tough, and I'm sure some of you have felt that. And so when it comes to dating, today I just want to address 2 different questions. Super simple, but who do we date? And then how do we date? I think us girls, we spend so much time looking for the one and creating an image of who the one is in our head. We create a dream boyfriend based on the Taylor Swift songs, the romance novels, the rom-com movies, the social media posts our friends are posting, and while none of those things are bad, when we create an idea of someone based on a checklist we've created, we create somebody that nobody can live up to. The picture of the one you've created just doesn't exist, and you'll realize that people are going to disappoint you. So I've actually created my own dream checklist, and the numbers got a little messed up, but I think there's 61 things on here. If I could have all 61 of these things all the time, 24/7, I would. I really would. And I think if you sat down to create your own checklist, you would realize there's probably an extensive list for you too. There's some good ones on there.
They're like looking at it, debating it right now. I like it.
Liking sushi, but don't eat sushi with a fork. Loves Jesus, obviously. Quick responder. Doesn't wear flip-flops. That's pretty important to me to wear flip-flops. No offense. But there's a plethora of things we create. And so I'm sure if you made your own, you can do this in your free time later tonight, you would realize your list is really long too. And you create a dream guy based on a massive checklist that nobody's going to live up to. I love what Romans 3:23 says. It says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." We make mistakes, and we're going to keep making mistakes because we're human. And we don't want others to hold us to a standard of perfection because it's a standard we're just not going to meet. We're going to disappoint others. And so I think there are lots of good qualities on this checklist, and so you don't want to drop all of your standards. But even then, a person who is empathetic all the time, 24/7, doesn't happen. So we have to level our expectations. So who do we date? We're looking Do we enjoy our time together, or do we actually just get tired of talking to each other after 30 minutes? Most of dating is really just hanging out. So we have to evaluate, do we like being around each other? The next thing is character, and this is, do they have integrity? How do others see him? How is he speaking about you when you're not in the room? How is he speaking about his teachers or his family members? And how is he talking about the people that he doesn't like? Does he have a good character? And then the last thing is cause. Are we pursuing the same things? Girls in the room, if you would call yourself a follower of Jesus, it should be a non-negotiable for you that you are also dating a follower of Jesus. You're going to want someone who's going to elevate your faith and make you want to get to know Jesus more, not someone who distracts you from that. So you have to ask yourself too, is it enough for you that he just comes to church on Sunday? Is it enough for you that he's wearing the cross necklace or has the verse in his bio? Is he also walking those things out in his day-to-day life? Does he elevate your faith along with his own? If you're not a follower of Jesus in the room, this standard is different. For cause, you got to ask yourself, what do you care about? What kinds of things are you passionate about? And does he lift you up in those, or does he distract you from those? The cause is important. So once we figured out chemistry, character, and cause, we've got the who down. It begs the question, how do we date? I think dating can be super confusing. There are a million questions you can think of about what to do when, and it can start to feel like there's some sort of secret formula that we're supposed to understand, and nobody's going to tell us what it is. We just got to figure it out on our own. It's literally like plankton trying to figure out the secret Krabby Patty formula. And so, we have to start by deciding what the purpose of dating is. Dating is really just an evaluation phase. I love how Ben Stewart says it in the book Single, Dating, Engaged, Married. He says dating is not a status to sit in, but a process to go through. You're not trying to just achieve the label of girlfriend to say you've made it in high school. It is not just a box to check off. Too often, I think us girls, we try so hard to put on the face that we're the perfect person that will meet all 61 things on our room guide checklist. As an example, I'd like to share a personal story with you guys, and I have been in these moments and still have these moments to this day. They're making a comeback, which is pretty exciting for me. I had just gotten a brand new yellow one, and I was so excited to wear it. Yellow is my favorite color. I spent probably 2 hours getting ready this morning. I fixed my hair up all nice. I borrowed my mom's necklace for the day. I was wearing like my favorite outfit. And I go into my freshman biology class. This was me. And I was so excited because my crush, I was going to see him in the hall after we left biology. And so we're leaving biology, I'm walking out, and I overhear him and his friends calling me Big Bird. They were making bird noises as I was walking down the halls. And in the moment that I thought my crush was going to finally notice me and say something, he was making fun of me. And I think too often we're trying to become the checklist of the imaginary person that just doesn't exist. But really, dating has to be so much more than that. We're working so hard to make sure we're checking off every checkbox, but there has to be more to the race than perfection. The purpose of dating is so much more than trying to find the perfect person or be in the perfect relationship. The book of 1 John highlights this purpose and the value you have so beautifully. It says, "This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love. Not that we loved God, but that he loved us, and he sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins." Dear friends, since God so loved us, we ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. Dear friends, God has already created you to be the one. In fact, he sacrificed everything just to have a relationship with you. And now, he's asking us to just love one another. A confidence in God takes the desperation out of dating. We don't have to carry it all ourselves because he who sacrificed it all to be with us is guiding us. He knows where our relationship is going. He knows how the story ends. And he's telling us that our purpose and our value is so much greater than that.
That's great, T. Thank you for sharing. And that list, I mean, that's impressive. That's one of those things. But I have a question for all of you guys, regardless of whatever phase of relationship you're in. This is for both girls and guys. How many of you guys have ever felt like dating or pursuing a relationship is either complicated or confusing? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of us. Okay, because it is. It is. In today's modern way of dating and pursuing relationships, it is absolutely complicated, and there's a variety of reasons for that. Teresa just mentioned that there are two people in a relationship, and we all fall short of the glory of God. We can't even live up to our own standards, let alone the standards of someone else, right? And so when we think about that, there are a lot of opportunities for complications or confusion when it comes to pursuing a relationship or dating in high school, but I think there is one reason that makes it the most complicated and maybe the most confusing. And guys, I think we could actually lead the charge in this. I think we could actually step up and step into this that can make an ultimate difference in the lives that we live and also the relationships that we pursue and the health of the relationship as well. And that is leading with clarity. Leading with clarity. Paul writes this in Ephesians 4:15. He says, "Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is the head, that is Christ." So Paul's writing this whole entire verse, and it's not intentionally writing about dating, but I think it has close to everything to do with dating as well. Because when we speak truth in love, guys, when we choose to step in and step up first and speak truth in love, what happens is we actually give our partners, we give the girl that we're pursuing clarity and peace. And that is one of the best gifts that we could give them, especially if we are pursuing a relationship. Otherwise, when we are unclear in our communication, when we're unclear in our pursuit of another person, what happens is we create a sense of ambiguity. And that's a really fun word to say 3 times fast. Ambiguity, ambiguity, ambiguity. It's very fun if you ever want to try it. Ambiguity. Ambiguity, you know what that means? It means confusion. It means it's unclear. It means if we are being unclear with our communication, if we're being unclear in how we're pursuing someone, if we're unclear in what we hope the relationship and defining the relationship to be, the truth is that we leave the other person guessing all the time, and nobody wants to play guessing games. Do you know what ambiguity creates? It creates anxiety on the side of the other person. When we're not clear with our intentions, when we're not clear in the ways that we want to pursue someone, the truth is that we create anxiety, which is not a gift that we can give someone else. And so for guys, I just want to give us 3 handles on how we lead with clarity, because I personally believe we are called to lead. So how do we lead with clarity when it comes to relationships? And this is good for anybody in any relationship that you're pursuing. Number 1, clarity in your intentions. Clarity in your intentions. If you are going to ask out a girl, don't play games. Be clear about your intentions on why you want to ask her out, right? And define the relationship early. If you're interested in someone, don't just hint at it. Don't play games. Just say it. And I know that's scary. If you're going on dates, be clear about why you are going on dates with the girl. It is a gift that you can give her. If you don't see it going anywhere, and this is a little bit hard, communicate that ahead of time. I know that's hard and that's scary, and what about, you got to understand that clarity is kindness. Clarity is kindness, and sometimes we don't say the thing because we think it's unkind, but really what's unkind is when we don't say the thing and we lead them on time after time after time again. One of the best gifts that we can give them is to be clear with our intentions. Number 2, clarity in your communication. So say what you mean and mean what you say. This is the idea of don't play games with them. Don't rely on mixed signals to have a healthy relationship. Be upfront about your pace and boundaries. If you're dating intentionally, communicate why you are dating them intentionally and what that actually means for you, because that actually could look different between who you're talking to. And then if something falls off, guys, please don't do this. Don't ghost her. Don't ghost her. Just clarity in your communication is one of the best gifts that you can give her. Number 3, clarity in your commitment. Be honest about where things stand. If you see a future with someone and actually want to pursue that, it is not weird to actually communicate that, but there's a way to communicate that's incredibly weird. But if you see a future with someone, just be clear in your communication about it. If you're not ready for a relationship, don't act like you are. And if God is leading you in a different direction, don't delay the inevitable out of fear of discomfort. So clarity in your intentions, clarity in your communication, and clarity in your commitment.
I think one of the scary parts about dating is that it doesn't always work out in the way we're hoping for. It doesn't always end in the happy ever after we dream about as little girls. And today I want to speak to the feelings aspect of heartbreak. This entire process is hard. and there's no way to go through it without some sort of discomfort and or pain. The moment it happens, your mind starts racing, you're seeking for some sort of relief, searching for answers. Is this really real? What happened? What went wrong? What's wrong with me? What did I do? Is it fixable? When we experience heartbreak, our brain actually has a physical response to this. There's a part of our brain where the reward system is located. It's right up here. There's a little orange dot. That's your amygdala. And this part of the brain is associated with the motivation towards wanting someone or something that we like or value. So when we get to know someone, we develop romantic feelings for them. The dopamine levels in our brain actually increase. It's directly correlated with the levels of happiness we feel. And we actually have this same response when we see a funny reel or a post we like on Instagram. And then humans also have this same response when they become addicted to drugs. All three of these things read the same way in the brain. It's associated with the bonding system in our brain that makes us crave someone or something. So amidst a breakup, your brain is having a physical reaction to your dopamine levels no longer being increased. So this is why we often compulsively check their Snap score, why we're stalking their Instagram page, why we spam text them, or we take a different route in the hallway so we make sure that we see them. We're craving some sort of relief and some sort of answers to the pain and the discomfort. And the hard thing about this process is that we don't get to know all the answers. We're never going to have every answer to every question that comes up during a breakup. And for some of us, for a lot of us, I think that's a really hard reality to sit with. Because having the answers would mean a few things. It would mean we could rest our head at night knowing that this actually just makes sense, or this is what was supposed to happen, or I still have control over my life and my emotions, or that I'm okay and I'm still loved. While we do not get to know all of the things, we do get to know the one who knows all things. And I'd like to say that one more time. We do not get to know all things, but we do get to know the one who knows all things. God is sitting here waiting for you to walk through your heartbreak with him. I love the way King Solomon phrases seasons of life like this in this section of Ecclesiastes. He says, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. There is an appropriate time for all of the emotions that you feel, all the ways you're processing things, the sadness, the frustration, the anger, the relief, the unsettledness, the desperation. But how do we move on? How do we find relief from that? What can we do? Well, the first thing is that you cry. There is a time to cry, and there's a time to feel all of the feelings you're feeling. That's important. It's part of the human healing process. You need to feel these things. But right next to where King Solomon said there's a time to weep, he said there is a time to laugh. So we cannot stay sad forever. So what do? The next thing you can do is you cling to community. You find the 1 to 2 people in your life that you can tell everything to. The ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights. You can text them 40 times more than you think you should, still talking about this guy, and they're going to send you something that helps you. They're going to lift you up rather than telling you to go egg his car or post about how he sucks on social media. They're going to help you walk through the healing process. The other thing you can do is you show up. Don't miss out on the now because you're so worried about the back then. I wish I could have told my high school self not to stay home when the sports games were happening because I was trying to avoid my ex, or staying home to just be sad. So my advice to you is to keep showing up. Keep going to the sports games, keep hanging out with your friends, keep going to the places you love, keep showing up to InsideOut because it does get easier. And the other thing you can do is you dance. You have fun. At the end of this chapter in Ecclesiastes we went through earlier, it says, "I have perceived that there is nothing better for them to do than to be joyful and to do good as long as they live. Also, that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all his toil. This is God's gift to man. It is God's gift to us to enjoy life, to experience it in all the best ways, the good meals, the laughter, the connection with your friends, the snacks and the friends at InsideOut, all of those things. So go enjoy the dinner. Go ride in the car and sing your favorite songs, screaming the lyrics with the windows down. Enjoy your time with your small group at InsideOut. It's worth it, and it will slowly get better."
I agree. When it comes to heartbreak, heartbreak is one thing, but my ego is another. That's a swing and a miss. Okay, nobody, no Sabrina Carpenter fans in here? Okay, oh boy. Woo! All right, we should just pray and go to small groups. Oh, wow, that bombed. Okay. All right, okay, real quick on heartbreak. So heartbreak is something that we all experience in life. Wow, guys, that is the first time I bombed that bad. Okay, thank you for that. On a real note, heartbreak actually is something that none of us pray for. It's not something we hope for. It's not the reason we get into relationships. And yet, heartbreak is absolutely a reality of something that we can experience. And heartbreak doesn't always have to deal with an outcome, right? It doesn't always have to mean that the relationship ends, even though that is heartbreak worthy. But what's true is heartbreak can happen while you're in the midst of a relationship, and heartbreak can happen in a season of singleness as well. So the question is, for guys, how do we handle heartbreak well? What does that actually look like to process our emotions in a healthy way, honor yourself, and honor even the person that hurt you? Parker, in week 1, he talked about this. He talked about Paul writing in 1 Corinthians 13:11. He said, when I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. I think we all know this at a heart level. There are immensely childish ways that we can approach heartbreak. And I know I've gotten like this before too, that when I am feeling angry and when I am feeling frustrated, sometimes my natural reaction is leaning towards the side of me and the part of me that I probably should put behind me. That if I really want to mature through this process, and heartbreak is a maturing process, if I want to mature through this process, how do I do this in a way that honors people and honors even the person that hurt me? And so guys, I just want to give you 3 steps on what that actually practically looks like in your life. The first thing I want to encourage you with is that your words matter. Your words matter even maybe more than you realize. It's easy to speak out of emotion, but your words have weight. Whether it's venting to friends, whether it's venting to the person or to the girl that hurt you, whatever it may be, your words matter. And what you say about somebody who hurt you says a lot about your character. And that does not take away from processing your emotions, but sometimes when we process our emotions, sometimes it doesn't happen in a healthy way. Paul in Ephesians 4:29, he says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is beneficial to the person according to their needs. And so I would ask you, when somebody hurts your heart, are you building them up or tearing them down? Paul's encouraging us to build them up. Number 2, blame is a trap. Blame is absolutely a trap when it comes to heartbreak. It is so easy to point out all their flaws and all their mistakes and the reason why they hurt you. And if they could just get better, if they just poured this much into the relationship, then we would still be dating. Blame is one of those things where it's easy to, point out the speck in someone else's eye, but it is hard to see the plank in your own eye. And so sometimes when it comes to blame, what would it look like to say, hey, what was my ownership of responsibility to why the relationship didn't work out or why I'm experiencing this heartbreak? Blame is a trap. And then, guys, mistreatment is never justified. Sometimes in our anger and sometimes in emotions, we say things about girls and we treat them in a way that is never justified. We're called to a much higher standard. We are called to a much higher standard, and I get it. It is hard. I get it. It is hurtful. Sometimes we don't really know how to process our emotions in a healthy way, but mistreatment is never justified to mistreat a girl, someone who is made in the image of God, in a way that she does not deserve. Even if she is responsible for the heartbreak, she does not deserve that. So blame is a trap, your words matter, and mistreatment is never justified. I'll kind of summarize it with this. Your heartbreak doesn't have to define you. It doesn't have to define your story, define your life, but how you handle it will.
And in seasons of singleness, you all may have heard the phrase, singleness is a gift. And even when I say it, you may be sitting here being like, yeah, right, Teresa, that's a gift I'd like to return, actually. And it sure as heck doesn't feel like a gift when you really do desire to deeply know someone and to be known by them. And it doesn't feel like a gift when it feels like all of your friends are dating someone or in the process of dating someone. And believe me, I get it. Most of my friends are dating someone or married, and it does not feel like a gift to me when it feels like everyone around me is getting something that I really want. I'd like to start by validating that your desire to date someone is normal and it's okay and it's good. But at what point does it start to take away from us living the full life we really desire? And so today, I just want to talk to y'all about what makes singleness a gift. In the book of 1 Corinthians, Paul is addressing the church in Corinth on marriage. And Paul lived his entire life single. So for a second, I want y'all to imagine what it would be like to live your entire life single. From birth until death, no dates, no marriage, no kids, none of it, just single. Picture that. He literally lived his entire life single. He started his life literally killing Christians and ended up writing about half of the New Testament. And it's actually in 1 Corinthians that Paul says singleness is a gift. Here's what he says. He says, I wish that all of you were as I am, but each of you has your own gift from God. One has this gift, another has that. Right here, he's telling us that we actually have a gift in singleness, and he actually wishes we were single just as he was. But at the same time, he also says each has their own gift. So some of your friends will date, some of you will be single. Each has our own gift. But why, Paul? Why is singleness a gift? Later in the chapter, Paul says, I want you to be free from anxieties. The unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about worldly things, how to please his wife, and his interests are divided. He goes on to say the same for women, and then at the end, he says, I say this for your own benefit, not to lay any restraint upon you, but to promote good order and to secure your undivided devotion to the Lord. You can see it here from a man who spent his entire life single, that singleness is not meant to be a restraint on your life. It is for your benefit to secure your devotion to God. God places us all in a season of singleness in our lives. I mean, we're literally born single. And so this can't be the only thing that matters in our life to find someone to date. There has to be a greater purpose. So what do we do with our time being single? We have to take time to treat singleness as a gift. We can take time to get to know Jesus. For me, I like to take Jesus to coffee. I like to treat myself to a coffee, and whether it's 10 minutes or an hour or 10 hours, you can get to know who Jesus is to you. This can look like a bunch of different things. Maybe it's reading your Bible or doing a devotional plan from the YouVersion Bible app. Maybe it's listening to worship music or talking to God. The fun part about this is that you actually get to decide what you want that to look like. And if you don't know Jesus in the room, or you would say you are not a follower of Jesus, I just want to encourage you and ask you, what would it look like for you to spend 10 minutes a day getting to know who is this Jesus guy and who is he to me? The next thing you can do is you take time to serve others. Whether it's here in one of our environments in Wonderland, Upstreet, Transit, InsideOut, or your local animal shelter, or you have a service organization at your school, get involved and serve others. There is nothing greater than getting to be a part of something that is far bigger than yourself. Next thing you do is you take time to get to know yourself. You have the most time now, as a single person, to get to know yourself that you will ever have. You can ask anyone who's in a relationship. When you get into a relationship, your priorities just naturally start to shift. Things start to become more important. There becomes more distractions. And so what would it look like for you to get to know yourself? What you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, your purpose. As you get to know yourself, maybe you're discovering you'd actually like to start seeking a mentor or see a counselor. The intentional time that you prepare for in this season of singleness will prepare you for a better relationship one day. It will prepare you for a better relationship one day. The next thing you do is you take time to develop a community. If you haven't really gotten plugged into your small group here at InsideOut, I really do think this is the best time to lean in. If there's someone you've been wanting to get to know at school, I think you can ask them to go get coffee. Go hang out with them. I think you can jump into the organizations at school you've been on the fence about joining, and you go and you find your people. Because singleness becomes a gift when you start treating it like a gift.
When it comes to the season of singleness, especially as guys, there's a question that kind of has reframed some of the decisions that I make regardless of whatever thing I'm kind of experiencing or dealing with in life. But it's a question that I know I've said from stage here before. Maybe you've heard it ad nauseum. And for us, we just want to give it to you in a way that helps reframe some of the decisions that you make in your life. And it's this: when life is nothing but a story you tell one day, what story do you want to tell? When you're old and you're wrinkly and you're telling a story of your life one day, and you're telling your grandkids and you're telling your kids and you're telling generation after generation the story of your life, what story do you want to tell? I think for all of us in here, guy-girl relationship not, I think for all of us, we desire to tell a story that is worth telling, that we're excited to share. But what influences a good story and a story that we're not excited to share? It's the decisions that we make in life. So when it comes to the relationships that we have in life and the relationships that we're pursuing in life, what would it look like to reframe the decisions we make around this question? Around, hey, there might be a day that I have a wife or I'm dating someone and I'm going to have an opportunity to share bits and pieces of my story. What parts of the decisions that I've made or the story that I'm going to tell would I be tempted to hide? I would be tempted to not share, that I would be tempted to lie about, to make sure that they still see me in a positive light, right? So when life is nothing but a story you tell, what story do you want to tell? Paul in Ephesians 5, he says this. He says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. He's not saying life is evil. What he's saying and what he's calling the church in Ephesus to have is to have a sense of urgency on how they live. To have a sense of urgency around the decisions that they make in life, to have a sense of urgency around some of the things that we actually try to pursue in our life. And so when it comes to your season of singleness, what would it look like for you to have that same sense of urgency about your character, about the person that you're becoming dateable for somebody else? What would that actually look like to have the same sense of urgency? I think there's actually 4 areas for guys that I would encourage you to have a sense of urgency in, especially in high school. Here are the 4. The first one is integrity. This is what we kind of started the year with. Integrity is doing what you should do even if it costs you. And so what would it look like in terms of relationships and in the season of singleness, if that's you, or maybe you one day, to actually have a sense of urgency about having integrity and to growing that side of your character? The second one is discipline. To have urgency around discipline. Never forget this. Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. If you want to experience the freedom of relationships one day and the joy that the Lord has brought into the relationships, if you want to experience that, what discipline and what boundaries would you want to set up now so that one day, someday, when you are telling the story of your life to your future wife, you aren't tempted to hide any parts? The third is to have a sense of urgency around humility. Humility. The best leaders in the world, the best leaders I know, are the most humble leaders. And if God calls us to a higher standard, what would it look like for you to have a sense of urgency to be the most humble person in the room? And then to have a sense of urgency around leadership. God calls you to lead. So what would it look like to lead? To step into that, to have a sense of urgency around that. Like we said, we just threw a whole lot at you guys from different perspectives and things that we wish we would have known. So I wanted to summarize each of these categories. And if there's anything that we would desire that you guys walk away with, is to understand the purpose of each of these phases, especially as you navigate this in high school and beyond. And so when it comes to the purpose of dating in high school, this is it. This is dating. Dating isn't about finding the one. It's about becoming the one God created you to be while seeking someone who runs toward him with you. That's dating. When it comes to heartbreak, and how do we navigate that, and how do we handle that in our lives, here's what we want you guys to forget. Here's heartbreak. Heartbreak doesn't define you, but how you handle it shapes who you become. It affects your character more than you even realize. And last but not least, when it comes to singleness, singleness is this. Singleness isn't a season to get through. It's an opportunity. When you start seeing it and reframing your mind in this way, I promise you, your life and your story will change. It's an opportunity to grow, serve, and become who God is shaping you to be. That's our hope, is that whatever life throws at you and whatever your story is when it comes to whatever relationship phase that you're in, our hope is that you're walking away with something practical and tangible that you can bring in. And what we hope is that you guys get to experience the fruitfulness in small groups as a result of that. So Teresa's going to pray for us, and then we're going to head to small groups.
God, we just thank you for whatever season we're walking through, whether we're here in the room and we're single, because you've given us devoted time to get to know you. For those of us that are dating in the room, we just thank you for the relationship. We thank you for the ways you're working in each of us. And for those of us that are experiencing heartbreak, we thank you that you open your arms and you allow us to walk with you. God, I just ask as we head to small groups, that you would continue to move in the hearts of all these students, and that they would continue to discover